Please tell us your name.
Aula tse sungro nang kaina.
La.
Tse karina.
Lobsan Nobu.
Lobsan Nobu.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama asked us to record your experiences so we can share your memories with many generations of Tibetans, the Chinese, and the rest of the world. Your memories will help us to document the true history, culture, and beliefs of the Tibetan people. Do you give your permission for the Tibet Oral History Project to use this interview?
Lobsala.
No.
Anjula ta khonsa kyamgu chembu chogi. Kalok nang banashi. Ngaji gerab chu mizi nyamnyong logyu. Ene danju shugu yore.
No.
En di phemi mira mango tha. Kya miri. En zambulingi mimang la toya gi chedu yi.
Lonus.
An logyu dinju na ne en phegi gerab ta rishun. En phemi chu yiche ngoyu di khari yime di khodu yungure.
Lonus.
And Tarin Tiwa Tilen Nangba di Pugi, Nagun, Gerab Legulgi, Peju Tayagi, Katu Nangirwa.
Down Lai.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for offering to share your story with us. During this interview, if you wish to take a break or stop at any time, please let me know. If you do not wish to answer a question or talk about something, let me know.
And Lopsala Tarin Lugu Sungro Nangba Dilaya, Tujiche Shugi.
No.
Tiwa Tilen Nangbe Kablaya, Ka Goya Dinde Zamsha, Goya Dinde Duna, and Sungro Nang.
Lonus.
Ya Tiwa Kashila Lenkundu Mena, Lenkungu Me Suna Digiore.
Lonus.
Okay. If this interview was shown in Tibet or China, would this be a problem for you?
Kesi Taring Tiwa Tilen Nangba di Pudan, Kana Dva Tembina. En lobsan la le ya kange khari yona
Ngalgang ke mel ngaloma guchin sarata ngabjuga gune solde sar.
I will have no problems because it's been so long since I left. I left in 1959.
Okay. We are honored to record your story and appreciate your participation in this project.
An thari nganjula lugyu sunga phebadi kawchons.
Lonus.
Yes.
Lobsang La, can you please tell me how old you are and where you were born?
Lobsan la khonglo khaje ina
Jaju jasum.
ene trungyul khabarel.
Loga Sonshan Digurata.
I'm 83 years old and I was born in Hoka.
Okay. And who was in your family when you were a child?
Lobsan la khonglo chunji imbe kabla nang la susu yona.
Ngare nala.
Lao.
Nal digabla baba yore. Ane pinja shivchungu tu nyeshta tingi midu.
At that time, there was my father and a few younger siblings.
Oman lojosune tombare.
My mother passed away when I was 13 years old.
What caused her to pass away?
Amla kandechine toina.
Bugunyi ke thani ani shamado chen tombare. Hele doctor ya umebche.
Mother passed away after giving birth to 2 children. In Tibet, we didn't have good doctors. She died after childbirth.
When you said 2 children, was it twins and did they survive?
Le pugunyi kene tongers digane pugunyi sna pugu tsema ker sunguye.
Bug tsamaje bugunyi ja devre shade madon chen ama tombare. Juma da bugunyi ja de amare.
So she gave birth to twins who survived, and she died after she couldn't have the afterbirth out. But later the twins, they are no longer alive.
They are no longer. And who took care of you after your mother died?
Ane amala thong chabe jeleya ane lobsan la leya ane sugi ya chalong chidi gane robana ina.
La.
And amala thong rwa ane lobsan la sugi ane tatona ina. Pugu chinju yimbe kable ta amala thong rwa ane di jela tato su nang yuna.
Ati baba yore kapti tu baba yore nungmi shira yore. Nungmi de thangma ngepinja mare lejibre nangi.
At that time, my father was there, and there were also many members in the family. who were officers.
I see. And what kind of work did your father do for livelihood?
Lobsan lagi pa lagi chale khare nangi yona di kabla.
Nge baba thoma lungbe bombore. Shuma thebareta. Thalobarwa.
Thalo bisna khaina.
Thangpu thabare bombore lungbe bombo.
My father was the leader of the village, and later after he left monkhood, and he became a taxpayer to the government.
Can you tell us something about the tax system and the government?
ane di kap gi theba yindu kana tha the phygu yorwa pheshung la ya
Lawan.
ane the di khande da buji na di cortes sungro na
Chede shingatamni ula phato joya ta dige cheya yore ane maga thigor midandil maga thibin ta ngama melevre lo jipsholo mamle tuscha.
So there were different types of taxes. Some where you had to provide labor service, and another type was where one of the family members had to become a soldier, and that's how I joined the army at the age of 14.
And you mentioned that your father was leader of the village, but I didn't understand what type of work he did or what type of livelihood he had, besides being the leader.
Lobsan lagi pala ngema thongbe na ya tha pembu nang rwa
No.
pembu yimba jik chale shemba khari nang gyor pembu ma tha pembu gi chale di ma yimba chale ji yorwa
Shimba dawre ta theba aba yindu thejo ya ma chundu doya ta ane shinga table cheya ta andu sama cheure.
So besides that, since he was a taxpayer, he farmed his land and he also attended meetings.
Were the taxes that your father had to pay, was the amount difficult for him?
Teji phygu yorwa pheshula ya and te phya de te kange chimbu yona
Kanga os chambure ngodo ya khe ni thu yo mamiji ta juwe ya juya tes kale khagure mamiti magic zona ani shirara kanga yo mare.
Yes, the taxes were a little difficult, and we were taxed both the categories of taxes. And the labor service tax was more difficult than the army service tax, because the army service tax, if one of the family members joined the army, that was it.
So there were what are the two different types of taxes? Could you explain that, please?
Labor tax.
You gave labor,
Yes.
and then financial. You gave money.
You gave a labor tax, and then the other one was the army tax, for which you had to send one member of the family to join the Tibetan army.
I see. And the labor tax was actually money, or did you supply labor?
Tanda ula gi the ji yorwa
No.
ula gi the dilaya ene ngui din de phu go ya yore ya susu laga che bo china tha du yore
ngui phugwe yore du phugwe ya yungure ane mi phazo che phazo joga ta phungu ten ki chen wonji chegwe yungure damara yungure.
The labor service tax consisted of many different types. There were some where you had to give money, some were grain taxes, and some were taxes in the form of transporting goods on your horses and mules, which you had to provide.
And Lobsang La, do you know what the taxes were used for? How did the government use the tax money that they collected?
Ta pheshung la ya the chi ya biorwa mi mangi pecha sha we na ta ngui tan thanda du dan din de phya di ne pheshung gi khari nang gi na di ge
phe shung ran chasa ya dugu yodam de chingir ta lungbe nal ya bombu jorba kokore dosun ta ya chigi yore ane phe shung ya phe go nge kha ji yore de ya gyuchan dugu yore kande chone yiga budar ran le nga gyume.
So I don't know if the whole taxes that were collected went to the Tibetan government, because there was also a leader of the region and he had his expenses too. So I don't know very well what really happened.
Okay.
디 용구디 가르 강가 싱거들이 세신지어봐.
So the revenue came from land.
So you don't know if taxes were used to fix roads or provide schooling for children. You don't have any understanding of that?
네, 롭사 라기 단다 체디 표슝기 칸데 배주 당기 요메 킹교 마르와 직 랑가 쇠야 레야 배주 당기 요나야 랍자 쇠야 라 배주 당기 요나 딘데 칸데 당기 요나 킹기 요 마르와
다티 덥도 간 쇼르제 카인스나 랍다 슝글랍도 단 주고요 말에 냐마 군든디 콘로 배지 쪽단에 배변에 전에 슝글랍도 주 디나가 츠브레 랍다 딜랍도 사버렘데 디냐 랍도베 루스민도 테벨 부글 고다 부글 랍다 요레 딜헤스란.
So sadly, there were no government schools then. However, when His Holiness the present Dalai Lama came to the throne, a new school was established. And I joined the school and I could study there for only about 2 years, because by then I was drafted into the army. And in the other schools, it was only the aristocrats, children that studied, and not children of the taxpayers.
So, before your school was established, there were other schools that existed, but only the aristocratic families could go.
This is gane thanda lobsa la pesagi lobta di gomazu gi ngelarwa yona la lapta yota yore yinege kota pugu machine chidangi pugu sudoya yo
misil lapta yo mare
there were no
misil sosose gerke mizan sosose gerke yore mando shungujiye yo mare shungu de nganzu zuwa de thambore kundu kunlu chu gozu gyago de lejikan la zu na re
kundu konlo khaje inde
di thambore wada shungu lapta
kundu konlo khaje swe
kono gyago jimda ta so chen nga mam chi du kan logic chi ba kundu konlu chu re sha.
So yes, there were no schools for the public, and if parents wanted to send their sons to school, there were private schools that they could send to, but there were no government schools until the one which I attended was established. And that was established when His Holiness was about 8 or 9 years old, because I remember when I went to join the army at age 14, His Holiness was 10 years old.
Can you tell us, how did it come about that you had to join the army?
다다 사지딜이야 내 되게 사지 쉬었으마 사지 체가 몸이 주고래 체가 단다 태고라 줘들어 몸 주고 되가네 라발레베이나 군주 초도 치전에 슝글락제 켄 치제 고토고요 말에 딜때 제 미자 명무촌에 야고 도세 슝 카페니 응아 미자 부송자 로지피 조래 지다 몸에 줘야 돼 수제 롬보고래 주제 안게 롬보고래 나 디디 롬에 보래 이내 코 미자 부송자 부송자 림베 롬도래 생가 도스로버래.
In the village that I came from, half of the families had sent their sons to the army and half were engaged in labor taxes. So sometimes, people sent hire other people to take the place of the son of the family and join the army, but then some such people, they fled from the army carrying away the government guns. So that's why I was sent to join the army. And when a boy joined the army, there were certain conditions that about his height and his weight and other physical abilities. Since I was son of the family, even though I wasn't tall enough, they drafted me, saying that gradually I would grow.
And what kind of feelings did you have about going to the army and dropping out of school?
Ani lobsa la mangmi la phego thure ani lobda la do yarai marwa la pheya mararwa en di korla ya an chowa khande des chuyuna di kabla
디가랑 ngara pugu songyin ta nezu yaum hashime tarwa mame duichun gabar chaso labdana nyedashra tangore de chigena mare bebe labda di gege nyedashra tangore de gabar chungsumo to dogus kemajo ina mame na len ngalabda kogob ras.
So I was a child then and did not know much. So I liked joining the army because in the Tibetan schools, the teachers used to beat the students a lot. And however, after I joined the army, I got the opportunity to continue my studies.
So when you first arrived at the army, what kind of activities or training did you have when you were 14?
Ta konglo chupshi la maga na lebrwa la.
No.
Ndi kabla ya jik jongdar khare khare nang yo na.
당고 정 몸이 야도 주다가 직 현재 몸이 개버디 현재 주고도라 아니 먹들라고도 갑자기 먹들이 되려 인지게래.
Mami gemba sola shondang la na khare na.
라.
Shondes na khare na.
현재서는 부 몇개백 관계 요거 주고 동안 단대바 구셔서 주고 주고 동안 어디는 신경도 주고 뭐지 도 로직이지 텐데 하고도
So when a boy was first drafted into the army, for a year or two he had to serve the older soldiers, and then
먹들려야래 로직이지 고도
Luizerwa.
몸이 먹들려 루제 땅 지금 담아서 제가 줘봐 어디래 로직이지 고도
He had to serve the oldest soldiers for a year or two, and then there were exercises and other things that you had to train for 2 years.
What kind?
And at that time, all these trainings were in English.
Who was teaching you?
Labnge surela magana la labnge.
labnge nyamane labshabe sukmame kora gyame gegen se logayore. Jugun logayore. Dingbe logayore. Jagun logayore. Rubin logayore. De ribe ya lab tension ya kone padu.
So the teachers were soldiers who had, gradually graduated from being leaders of various groups, and they were the ones who trained us.
Were the soldiers Tibetan soldiers, or were they from another country?
Mami sangma pheba ina ya miri shemba gi lungbe shembe mi yuna.
Phebarel.
Tibetans.
Miri shemba yo mare.
No.
Nyama chiktu janane sa debe yis chejen jana ma jabra ma jabgal havre se chiktu tiliya khone desha dingbe desha mitin shu tenge bombochi. Khone desha nga momi chebgo ko janggo resha tada ngelo zure.
There was one person who was a Chinese. It seems that during the war he had been left behind and he had surrendered to the Tibetans, and he had been made a Dingpen, who is a leader of 25 people. He was very old when I joined the army.
Why were the classes taught in English to Tibetans?
아니 단다 롭종 낭두 가네르와 롭체 지두 가네 디 인진낭라 가르치는 랍기요나
이지 제전에 attention trend each singer slow pop water ham singer did labore bautar singer and luzetang in URP to of singer was intelligence survey for where the chair or what or the song indicate jare 얘네 이제 다 타고 용면도 들어가서 삼당이나.
So all the commands were given in English, like attention or stand at ease. But when I look back now, the English was not very clear.
I see. Okay. So the military exercises, it sounds like they were taught to the Tibetans by some English-speaking people. Do you think that's what happened?
This is the Kanda Tanda Mangmi Jongdar Naya Jiorwa.
No.
Dingima Tangu Inji Migi Love in but Indrola.
당고 올랍도 그게 별반 그게 댐니 자갈라고 당세. 자갈라 땐라네 애니 장다된 콘도신 팔렌 애니 뭐 망럽죠세.
So initially
세계르니도 되도 직 자가치 버릴라버스도 직야 장제르버스 때때 야구셔미도.
So initially soldiers were selected to become teachers, and people say that a group was sent to India, but some people say they were also trained in Gyangtse.
Ah, okay. And what kind of training did you have? What did you learn how to do?
아니 가리가리 낭이야 정달 낭이나 마가 낭이야.
nga thangpo de dillawi labjong magzi thene birigen lawi birigen sajo birigen sab nyebre
birigen lan machine gun
birigen se chi gyor ya dang da jungwi machine gun birigen sengarbo lusi gen seng de yore gen sen da inji gen ge mende mingre.
So after the military exercises, I learned the operation of the machine gun, and there are many different kinds of guns, and the gun is an English word.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to establish where was this training camp, and what was the nearest city, and how many Tibetans were in the camp.
막세 장사지요와 막세 장사디 가와사자 가발이나
ngamen chebekala thobji thangle dinyelya ngondu magandi thobji sigyo mare janjo musore janjo jami chom ya jami jom ma mango jab chabe logito kamla ma chen ma mango jane janjo maga sigore dine ma me mingi joda ne thobji jang ngamam chego thobji re 해서 란래 세레티데
아니 데레야 망미 베베 망미 망르여나
베베맘이라 베베맘 차당 쇼메 까메 수이탐 버도 세베 루교요레
마르디카블라 차치
가당 가당 차당서 요레 응주 가당레 당고 응주 접제니에 당고를 봐 가당 레샤 엔 쇼마 군데 구송데 사바조레 응주 당고 접제디 구송차 가르스는 장나 고메 군들이야 표결이샤 먼저야 냠바르 때고 요소래 아니 중마 군들랑 구송 사바서니 안 간조 카당 차브레 카당 마간 쓰고래
카당 마간. So the training camp was at Tapji, which used to be earlier called Gyachong, because it had fought many times. He had fought the Chinese many times, and Tapji is located in Lhasa near Sera Monastery. And I don't know how many soldiers were there in the whole of the Tibetan army, but there were different divisions, about 30 divisions having the name of the Tibetan alphabet. So there was the Kadang and there was the Kadang and so on. And I belong to the Kadang unit.
Mm-hmm. How many people were in each division?
마가 창마타 까당 카당라니 카가 요르와
라오
근데 찍나리야 아니 마미 가지스요나
먼저 접제디나라 동자지 요래 카당디나라 동자지 대장내 조래 접제디 위네 조래 유단이세 디래
접지나라 가지요
접지 위버래
찍동 아니 카당라나 접지 말에
제 접지래
찍동래
이 월에 신다 까당가다 제타는 생도 건강하게 장자래
there was 1,000 in the Chapchi battalion, while rest all the
가당다
others,
가당모도 강가치 요마 치도 요마래.
and the rest did not have 1,000, maybe around
주마
500.
마기 견삼대 야마가 니토로 바당다 바당생지. 디카레 총다다 총너생지. 콘조 사제 요마래. 가라서 총다서는 미자 타가 조조시. 총너생에 미자 투투 조조 총너생이. 이내 콘조 대 때들 해서 랍주 제모도 마잡 두고요. 뭐 사버래. 로래. 점이 시라정을 첨부를 봐. 라케요 말 콘조 사버와 로드 어딘이 동다 요래.
So later, just prior to the attack, there were two more units established called the Padang and the Padang, and these boys were from wealthy families, and or 6 families had to send one boy to join these units, and there were 1,000 in these units, and since they were a new establishment, they could not fight much, and then they were returned just before the attack happened.
마자야가 락자 전부 요 말이 다 가게 맨날 커둠 잠들이 인지 커둠 잠지.
So we
인지
did not,
커둠네 아니 자가다 두드네 인지네 여겨로 봐. 콘조 배주 땅탈에 닝버데 좀 그러면도 사바요 말에.
so we did not have good weapons, and all that we had were short barrel rifles that were made in England, and these had been bought second hand from the Indians.
When you refer to the attack, are you talking, can you tell me what attack you're referring to?
Anthada padang dunzu ruala.
No.
Gemila ma gyama thune lore sungimba.
No.
Ma di khadi mare.
마점이 다가 단대 데리 마셔들이 레데 콘도 말레가네 콘도 마줘에 요마라 사부 총세버어 봐 로르 마자 총요 마레 점이 뽕도 첨부어 봐
Khadi loina kunzo.
라 대숑네 표숑네 로브레니 당부 조버레데 콘도 마자 총요 마 로브레 총세 소스네 뒤셔버어 봐
아니 마 마겐예네 로르웨.
로레 마 마자거나 도세는 마자가 마 샤존 마 땅으로 봐 땅들고는 도도 미게 아니 갸자원시 슬럽체 셴나존 콘도 디제 콘도 표침이 요말 마잡토에 요말 락제에 야고 요말.
So the attack was from the communist Chinese. So when these units were established, they were sent towards the east and to encounter the Chinese there. But the people of Kham, these told these the new army recruits that the Chinese the Chinese were coming, so these new recruits were very scared, and also they were not armed well, and they fled.
What year are we talking about, or what period?
Around 1954-55.
Prior to that,
So it was during the period when the Chinese were first appearing from the east, and I cannot say the year of the Western calendar.
before the Chinese were appearing from the east, and you were, let's see, when you were 14, it was 1944, when you were 14. What were the Tibetans preparing for? Were they having ongoing fights with the Chinese? Or when was the last encounter with the Chinese? The prior encounter with the Chinese, before 1944.
Ala tutu gyami merwa.
gyami yo ma gyami getu nyama yo ma gyam la de ji getu se khuna top down de mi kha ji nyu ji de yo sa su de yin be so ma to mi gyami de ma go yo ma re di gyami mena ya ma sha de ma de khon zo pa be su wa lo su wa shung ne.
So there were no Chinese in Tibet then, and earlier there had been some skirmishes, and a few of the Chinese were there, but these were sent back before the communists arrived.
Ah, okay. These were sent back.
The few Chinese that were in Lhasa then
Were sent back before the
communist Chinese
Oh,
arrived.
before the communist Chinese arrived. Okay. So when the Tibetan government was training soldiers, what were they training them for? Who was the enemy in like 1940s?
지금 거기에 십주 나로 도와래야 다 베베 망밀래야 정달제 디기 여러와 베숑게 이 정달제 디유간에 직 수수 다수리 삼니 정달제기요나 망밀라
데도 gemina sabja mina ya yungui inse kondu so chapta tang sarwa da kondu insan ngonzi chigi yore ane ke dige injine 벽에 줄래 인지 게 마임체
마가나라로
그게 아메리카다 달베 당수 쇼비치고 얼바 전제 아메리카 지금 쓰기도 건 인지 게단도 줘서요 말을 제가 벽에 준 박을 로템 세제 도서요리야.
At that time, the Chinese had already made the announcement that they were going to invade Tibet, and China was considered as the enemy then. And then later, the English language instructions were changed into Tibetan.
Okay. The Chinese made the announcement that they were going to invade Tibet. In what year, roughly, can you tell us?
근데 개미기 변할래야다 별이 용기 이슬람이 쿠란에서 세다지 제여와 디 가두시나라
디 말론디 랍다 되게 론니부터 바래 다 롱검가 따다 쉬면도
랍달라
론디 랍다 침버방아
안데 랍다 사바딜라
온
So that was, I don't know the year, but that was in the second
단대에 지게 뭐 참도 친서 러버 어디 쇼트 바래 다 롱검디 따다 쉬어요 말에
when I was in the second year of the school.
Ah, so you would have been about 15, okay, right? So that would have been 1945. Okay. Now, how long was the tour of duty for each a young man that was called into service?
다 미자레레 나네 푸레레 두고라 마가나리아 로 가주 슈구게레 마가나라
디 테스케요 말에 로겐 페모도는 몸사도 쪼그래 나 내중찬에 제우래 양카시 코네 번 야구체 되네 대그래 경과 봐도
알레 로체 켜니요 마로
로데요 말에 쿠수세 수구 컨디션이라다 그래
There was no fixed limit period. It depended upon your health. So if you were old or sick, you were discharged, or you could get promotion and then live in the army until old age.
Mm-hmm. Did any young Tibetan men join the army willingly to make it a career, or was it always a requirement, like from tax or something like that?
다 베베 부지기로 알아 망미나리아 수수 망미라 되바치니 중에 된데 요래 양 창마 인지 민지 다 태다고 진자 주기요나
데딘다 말에 미장콜 티디요 봐 미장콜 부메나 라랜드 라발랜드 땅고래 미자시나 부 더버체요 말 콜베샤데 우레 라데 우레
부카시기 나 망미를 주야 가기 둘란 망미 중에 된데 요로
요래 강들이 요때 내 소소 당들날 요면 콜포댕이 랍 미사제 다우지 거래 다우코 주그래
So if a family who had to send a son to the army did not have a son, they could hire somebody else's son, pay him money, and request him to, take the place of the family's, man. And however, there were boys who did want to join the army, but they had to look for someone to pay them.
So if you joined the army on your own, you still needed a sponsor. The government would not pay for you.
다 보직 망미나라 준디 여바 이나르와 다 지게 조선 땅에 지메베 이나 아니 별숑기 망미 임베 차네 조선 땅게 메로
이제 말해 고체티 되면 매장 코 조우라면도 숑네 조우 말해
No, it was the responsibility of the taxpayers to send
To send money.
Yeah.
So why did the young man have to look for someone then?
The government did not pay any money. So if a boy wanted to join the army, he had to look for some family who were taxpayers and did not have a son to send to the army. So that family could pay him and he could join the army.
I see. The government itself never paid any.
그래서는 숑래야 포 템피지리요 말봐 숑네 콘도 둘러다 지금 전지 차단 미사직 때으로 봐 싸댔다고디
There was only a limited wage from the Tibetan government, so the clothes or other expenses of the person who joined the army must be borne by one of the taxpayer families.
I see. And Lobsang La, what was your wish? Like like say you're 14 and you had 2 years of one kind of training and then 2 more years, so you're now 18. What kind of skills have you learned in the army? What kind of things have you practiced?
다 럽산라 공로 주실이야 마가나 주이르와라 근데 지네타 로 파기데 니즈 저부딘데타 정달낭 디네 로 좁게즈라 아니 가리 다 정달낭 차예죠 공로 좁게즈라
좁게즈가 데데 리베진 로우 말와타
다 주실이야 주이르와라
주실네 주르와 주긴 당보디 비리겐 랍제 예버디 다잘라버 다자세데 근데 남도스 요체네 그게 다당에 레게요래 이게 차단요래 되나 고루래 딜라브레 소바디가 룬딜 침버래 시버디 모르라고 침버래 차단다 모르라고 dro버가 갈로 이시나데 룬딜라고 임다다 로접제 주고도 봐
모르라고스는 모르 땅이야 숨이에
라모 모르 땅이야 모두 장야 식디체 럽지 추모머리 자가다 벽보를 난가요 말봐 자가네 시 표현한 것도 딕 내치고래. 이렇게 맨날 막함만 레서래.
So after I learned to operate the machine guns, then I learned signal using the flags. And then at about 18, 19, I learned to operate a radio. And then when I was about 20, I learned to drive a vehicle. And in those days, there was no road from India to Tibet, so the vehicles were, dismantled, and then we assembled them in Tibet. By then, the Chinese had already come into Kham.
Oh. Then continue your story. What happens to you after you learn how to drive a vehicle?
아니 다 디젤이야 다 모터 땅이야 장르와라 아니 가르쳐 중요나
모터 장산라
라오 모터 땅이야 장르와라 아니 가르낭래
모터 땅도 간에 자네 조민안에 자네 파조 달래게야래 미식 총배자라 달래게야래 내가 교령 우시라 되고 조마송 가르서나 근데 간델페니 간델가 구송 단스 간델 군데 간데 된다 기절 사람게 탐잡해 버봐 드디어가 구송 단스 구송 미니 망고 요마 드디 자당 업주스 딘데 제가 단스
So after I learned to drive that was in Tomo, then I started to
그래서 내가 비리게 신고를 봐 다시 신고를 봐 딘데기
So I transported goods for the merchants, and then I was sent to Garden as a security guard, one of the 150 security guards for His Holiness the Dalai Lama when he was giving the Geshe degree there.
Can you tell us something about that day and the ceremony?
다 베겔레야 캬고르 부쳔기 단다 게시기 디 땅나 로아 사람베 게시 사람바 and di khande dawchike dwe si yona
고득디에 빼면서 야고 총으로 되냐 마페네 안에 천주 선바 생이디 초브레 근데 대야 수두관에 안에 근데 단다 디 땅으로 봐 대쇼 땅때 비오로 봐 저种대도 양아 자리샤 제 포란이야 고송샤네 에데네네 야 보고 로충충데 대슈자가다 양가 대슈자가 저인데 지기
한다 게시기 땅고 디콜라 디숭아요나 게시 땅고 칸데 중요나
이제 사람들이 강가 센터 som장 땅으로 세라다 대부분이 낭 사교래 간데나도 간 슈구들이 nga 고송레스 nga 모데나네 전제만 레브레
So the Master in Metaphysics degree ceremony used to be performed in all the three monasteries of Sera, Ganden and Drepung, and the ceremonies had been already done in Sera and Drepung, and when it was being conducted in Ganden, I came there. And later I was sent as a guard at the Potala Palace.
양 고송 그런 착진 고송 줘봐. 건조에 열에 건조 야지도 네베로 저래.
We were additional guards that were sent there besides the regular guards stationed.
Why were there so many guards sent to protect His Holiness when he was getting the Geshe degree at Ganden?
간덴 라야타 캬고르 징게 게실 하람바디 땅낭두 가네르와 쿠소 망보든제 가르치네 땅이나
kuso mango yo ma ta de jemi ne de dog dang yor de jemi nyambo de chene rangyo jo zo ji che yor ba che yor de ko dur ne ju tang yo jang zo samwe kuso soro re
jemi khwaere
gande de ri na lo yo ne onggo ri ri thob jo di zel ma de re 어디 대고 가려서는 거 dur tang yor ta jemi ne ju
The situation with the Chinese was becoming worse at that time, and we were like secret guards because we were stationed on the top of the mountain that is behind Garden Monastery.
What year was that?
Di lo khadina
la
di lo de khadina
ta lo de
How old was he?
ngapjung je mento ta kendam rab tu go yor ba Dina ma pen sonjo samba jami ane jami zonggang pa semusega peronas de dato tangra ba de lo tagena dawa tage shude re andene kunde pe modu jem misasne mima ma thönjen mima ma nyen ka ni ane kunde so dende shugo do chabra ba sidio ganta 가서 ngau gorda ngabje shugure dinde yimda
So it was around the end of 1958 and the beginning of 1959, and during that time the Chongju prayer ceremony had been just completed, and at that time His Holiness was invited by the Chinese, and the people requested him not to. So that was during that period.
Can you tell us in 1959, around that time, 58, 59, what were your feelings as a young man?
ta chigdong gu gyangap chung ngap ke ngagulaya tha di kap le lopsa la tha shamba jimbe chane en thidu gane chwa khare dab chiyena tu na le ya
지도 간 초와디 다 개미 지도 지신 땅게 요래 안간도 갑자기 줘야 그 나오자다 지금 요 말한테 선배 나려야 다 증삼사를 직다 비시나서 대책고 찍으면도 증삼사를 장자 용도 지난 전 안에 랑가 초쇼 대선에 전화받고 군대 고송 용벌 봐 뒤에 증삼부 콜라를 지모도 시나서 대책고 찍 용도 콜라 그것도 되게 요던 아주 천이 시기면도
at that time we knew that the Chinese was very powerful, and we did not possess good arms to counter them, but there was no fear in me, and I always felt that I needed to fight them. And when I accompanied His Holiness as one of the guards from Lhasa to Chona, even at that time, I had no fear at all.
Tell us about that journey from Lhasa to Kona.
Ani Lhasa ne Chona la ya peyorwa kusong chine peyorwa ki ani lamga la khande chugena di chi sungro langa na la ya khande sta
langa la tawe kongla de sheta chungre gomba den de mo do yo mara lungba doni shibu den de le shu jhe e chom de jang sa sta ba e chom de jang de shu de gan ani shibu ju be ta ngara mi jo thyo mi 규모에 다가 돼야 섬대 여러 군데 수준이 개버려 근데 중으로 돼 이내 재미 젠데다니야 주변을 대자원이 중마송 요해 재미 쇼리 용버래.
So the journey was very difficult, and at times there were just monasteries along the way, and at times the region was very poor, especially at a place called Chamdogyang, and I shed tears because even for ordinary people it was so difficult.
Maralenge of the tea, then the death care or that issues are as the to go. Then the to go. Then the dog care man may give me Singurava. What did to go in? Could do because a Melkasha Nelia, but they should the canyon or that day got them with the Rai.
Even for ordinary people, it was so difficult, and His Holiness was forced to endure, such difficulties. And there were a number of horses and mules, which were armed, which were loaded with arms, and I was in charge of these horses and mules. And I had about 10 to 15 soldiers, with me. And His Holiness moved ahead, and then we were following them. And though the Chinese pursued, none of us were. The Chinese could arrest none of us.
Even though they pursued.
Yes.
What was your understanding of what your group of men was? How many men were with you? Guarding these horses and mules of His Holiness, and did you understand why you were doing that and where His Holiness was going?
Ta lobsan lagi chalaya ta mi khazus yona ta de thenge
koreman bordon re
ta de nyamdo le ya
bordon de nije thujus jore
ta de nyamdo
la
따단 제든지
따뜻 정년부 청에 관여를 내가 미 주듯이 나 되게 고절을 체
아니 다 디갑래야 아니 롭산라기 아니 겸고를 무치 가르치니 폐기열에 가바 폐기열에 두두 캥기요나
디 당불 해서는 튼디 하고고요 말에 해서는 튼이 멜리징이 친두거나 안에 군주 제자 안에 하고버리시 미마게 신부터 겸이마가 길대어 봐 디사마 제자가 저 하고고요 말에 생예들이야 도래 시고여모도 집주레스 비교어서 시고여 말에 투지어래 벤자 투고생이지 라마가 투세지 투디 파트너서도가 아니 신행하다 됐어도 그라맘디게 티전 비게 추걸 유스 아니 암도니도 암도 딩일이야 깨치서 암도 센터 후도 구게나 딩일 깨치 아니 그런 비게 봐줘 미나마 쇼트한테 치도 슈마다 마들 치르번도나 마마 쇼스 나럽샤레 뭐니 로바디게 수지 러비요 말 당아 스트레 도그레스 마장가 시기시기라 추가다는 카레이나 삼화진 런제르 바미 까르바 진도 암도들 깨체베 암도되게 깨데 야워 트라토 용문도 저저저저저센 이게 개반 민도스 러비 지도관의 조망 추디나 럽죠 제 셀리아 gem이 모자 용스도와 럽죠 진짜 랑가 가가레샤 슈고치도 nga phege de de nga ngaral thege shot de tyo chebe da nga ni khu me do me ga ni khu de sha Nimena mama lepta chigdo yang shuma segdo yang malap chig tinya migang ya lang chen chang ni kun ka ni ku yo ma ya lang shu tige amdo dingi de de so ko langa ni yor wo de ko de tang de de ko la ta shen yor ko zo ta shen chin sa sha tang ang zo ko ba jon do ba ane ko ba jon yu de ka ane beri gen ke gu re de de zen de tu gyob de nga zen de gang ru ru yo ma re ming ni zo sum de ta re de gu sha nga ta jig che yu Dikeje yon tsana wuma yo tani yudu kala nam lang za de mizanjik lesu namja kansu namja chasang shigashidu shigadalidu an tsamba to cha to tegdu odi tedu kan tani shingi robot je kang la na wunam hondong chen odi migalin tons didu ane kundu iga chelase le kan ya padu dus peb tungdu tani shina hakos dimodo hakoyo mare
So in all there were about 260 soldiers and about 10 soldiers who were with the horses and mules that carried the arms. And in Lhasa, I had no knowledge where we were going. I was told that we would have to go up the Tsiri, which is atop of a mountain, and later, I was given another instruction telling me that I had to cross the river with a boat and then take some of the soldiers with me, and then that after I crossed the river, I would, meet up with 2 Amdo people, and so I was, perplexed, why in the morning I was told that I would have to go up the mountain, and now I was told to go in another direction. And I asked one of the Amdos I met, but couldn't understand his dialect. And however, I crossed the river and waited, and there were others there who were sleeping, but I couldn't sleep that night. And I could see people with flashlights walking about, and I woke my companions up, and then we walked, and it was difficult because we were carrying the machine guns. At that time, all the arms were not together, so each one of us had horses that were carrying arms, and we walked the whole night through, and at around daylight we came upon an estate that belonged to the Namgyel Tatsang Monastery, and there we received tea and tsampa, and I could meet up with some of the colleagues who I had lost in the darkness. And there I learned that about His Holiness's escape.
Lade mil chelasa. Lade ma pop sa de gan ane chu ge ben zu chu yang lu zang go se dong wa. Di chu de pa tuan go re. Chu tuan se de de gan ane gu de pe gu de xia ang zu gang zu pa che de gu re. Ane chu ri be pa tuan jang ang zu tuan ba kan li ya ane sa du. Sa ro ne tena chu de tuan mo xin de gong ba zu gomba de geshu gomba sido geshu gomba den shudin jab de gonda an dangu chenga gomba jon yombe inza ta ni ju tore de ni ji ni ju re sambar je ben lamsan shos de shos nga berigen goro ba kona soba do ro se ya chu ga nga soba dans chen beri pege chen chen el hak ba jo be chema do lo to chen du gu shi bu tong an chen chu zu jung ni de chen de do ches ane kunde wa den de gomba chun ju je shudin jab re.
So then we came upon a mountain pass which is known as the Chela, and after crossing over that you had to cross a river, and then you arrived at a very small monastery called Kelu, and His Holiness spent the night there. And that night, since I had walked so far, I thought I would fall asleep, but then since I could operate the machine guns, I was told that I had to stand guard, and that night was very difficult with the wind and then the sand, and about at around 12 o'clock someone else came and we changed places.
제대셔서 대쇼지야스 어다데 총제를 지래 뭐 공부한테 개 믹스에 야고 요 말에 그도 딘데지 슈기에래 야 디슈지 해도가 아니 메글레도 와 단단가 젠디 투교 체에서 신에 따르디가 루루서 되게 미래를 따르려 고샤바 미는 것도 또 되게 루루서 안 되게 젠디 투교 등아 dev지지tes 아니 봐도 다 탑시다 간지 비케마 탑시다 제 되게 구두패서 조르스 내서 그래.
Then those accompanying His Holiness were his bodyguards and also an equal number of men from the Chushigangduk. And those that were at the Lhoka base, they helped us. And the next day we arrived at a town called Chedashu. There were no monasteries there, and His Holiness spent the night at this town. And until now, all the horses that were carrying the weapons were being led by different men. And at this place, everyone gathered, and then I was given the charge of all the horses and mules that carried weapons. And I had also to arrange horses for His Holiness to continue the journey.
커도마 패비는 대단다 연루날이야 랑가 남지레다 딘데 패야 입에 소리지 여러봐 안디네 데 이피나서 소버텐데 카샤카시 예산 슝에다 딘데 중제 디간데 디디 당군 무슨 마음이 요말 고소랑 여러봐 내 무슨 마음 때 저수고 군도 영토샤 군도래 야전데 딘데다 대케도 재산 고소 데리되거나 고소 마음이 아니 주주간도 혼자 미마게 고소 대냐 재미 돌아 거면서 먹어스 제제디나 연부 주요만 간도 고소 랑자샤제 혼자 되네야 예원들 야다 이제 도종 생기죠래 대야 재미 피나도 요나 안 가동 제가 야 혼자 야다 근데 야패전에 되네야 사불라서 라디겸니 천자난 패스 천자 공부들 패는 공다직 단님을 찍니 쇼야서로지 예배서로지 예 아무도 이게 저장도 전에 막 캐버로 버지도 근데 톱자 고제 양패서 어떻게 캐버면 말이 양이 연결해 가르쳐서냐 재미쇼고 연구해 지금 수업 전에 인사래 수업 전에 지든이 고고요 말에 되는 마치니 링상 공부니요 공부 춘준이 대수된 자서 건다직
So from this place called Jedashu, if you walked directly on the road, it would lead to Tsetang and Yarlong. But I suppose, that there were informers that brought information because there, more security soldiers arrived and also and they carried more weapons. And these additional securities were dispatched to Tuazong in order to stop any Chinese coming from that region. And then after crossing the Zapola, you were in Chonggya, and where I suppose His Holiness was going to spend a day or two. And when we arrived there and were about to unload the pack animals, His Holiness continued his journey. So I suppose words came that the Chinese were pursuing. So I suppose the Chinese were in pursuit because I did not get to know everything that was being, said.
야도 달라라데 겸네 볼에 가고 싶고 제 야페 규관종 세대 사자 라토보자야 된데 패고 대패산이 라도 마보장 고보 요 말에 에 처음도 장세네 대슈리 케브레 에 처음도 장가 밀르렘벨레 저주좀 버다 개월년 가서 껴나 시부지요래 저다에 대뇌메 미산교불 미산 카시에 모두 요마 대곤다지 슈케브레
Then we came to a monastery that belonged to the Lingtsang, and His Holiness spent a day there. And after that, it was a very difficult climb over a mountain pass called Yatu Thala. And then you reached Gyukangdong, where there were no monasteries. And then this region called Echamdogya is very barren with very few families, and they used to be saying that to be born as a wild animal is better than to be born as a human in Echamdogya. Such was a place.
And then you should do Pendo Yungu Yodameda, Kayis, that is Lujin Yimbu.
So
And then a chomto can and a penny, Shobutala Sayan Laji Gaure. Shobutala Lajoni, Katan Compassagiore. They have competitions, they contagious to Javre.
So from H. Hamdugya, there was the Sobotala that had to be crossed, and then we came to a monastery that was called Kamdugya.
No. The Katan Gombane Mape, Nyan Hunzu said the paper. Nyan Hunzu Tonla, and Yiminusum shooting just you get there with a tonangre. There would son and then do to use on the yard that will yard drive me to make a day. There would start any culture. Has a new chavres and transit to the Ganama and Tangan has a new chavras. Then you'll have a new member, Jason Yabasumimta, has a short about that Lebrava, that the negative to Toya Church competent shape Yimta Sangi. And a day look you going chavra chair to chair, Sundu Zondi, Rizel chair, the bush of Jore. That is a chun yomers of Torne, Zondi.
Kadang gun tiller.
La.
Kadang gun tiller. Hunzi zong the kadang gun but tiller.
Kadang combine or Hunzi on my peps.
So from Kadang Monastery, His Holiness journeyed on to Hunzizong, which is a district on top of a mount, located on top of a mountain, and here His Holiness spent 2 to 3 days, and a ceremony was conducted there, and the people of the village was very happy, and they said that their village had become the second Lhasa. And there was a ceremony, but I could not attend it because I was, of course, in charge of the arms. And I suppose, His Holiness wished to stay there for a few days, and a meeting was held inside this, fort which was located atop a mountain. It was a very nice one, but I heard it is no more there.
Zone and Chana Payare, Dilea Lani Jaure, Duxik Simbina se Lajore. Take Jami Yombe Yina, Jami Yangashira Yorba, Tindong Alanganzo Meme Mama de Tusta, Dinema Jorana Ya Lajazo, they could do Chipra Nuche Page to and Chana Page to Langa Ni Yore, Karasa. Jami Ina Kayina, number less. Number the Mobishra less, they never Yatang as you say, Mendajas or Detane, Maje Sudo and Cheo Mare, number Juma Sudi Re, High Koyo Mare, number garbage less. And Chana lets a do a tenant, Combat young Compachunju or Tantasona Ramchetuati Combare. Or they should jar the Kondaji.
So from Hunzizong to arrive in Chena, there were 2 mountain passes to cross, and one, the Zombina, was very dangerous, and so many of the soldiers were dispatched there, and His Holiness took the other route called the Jora, and at that time a plane flew overhead, but we do not know from where it was, and we were told, given instructions not to fire at it, so we did not. And then after we reached Sona, there was a small monastery in which His Holiness spent one night.
And then Sanya Delia could do the Natsuna, any Tagana, any Willena, and could do petrol use and Lane George, and on to Jagana competent, and could do Palmel, Pape, on to Chilo Javchen, Negobji, Yanjik, Satur, Simtonus, and Marjaga, Yanu Pato to you Chebre. Yanu Tanda Lingsam Combo, but this Adwalesa, and the Shiratar and Gure. And they show and could do Jagana, Chawana, Naso, and they show the Sabajo Shibujichung. In a Matupa, Majibeti, Negobji, Tanda Hundu, the Shung Savage, Simya Cheshi Yorba. 대야 사실 심토나 산에 러와체브레.
So the next day at Tsena, message arrived that India had agreed to accept His Holiness, and and His Holiness went onwards to Mön, and we were to go back to Yarlung, where the Lingchang monastery is. And that morning we were given an audience of His Holiness, and His Holiness blessed us, and it was a very sad time for us. And then we went back to Hunzizong, and we hope that that the new Tibetan government could be established there, and we went to guard the Hunzizong. That's the fort on top of the mountain.
Dine ane ngandu nga chonane pa ta momdi gel hasne le nimuju jung tsala jig zambala so bo pol so kan ra yo marba dine sonda hunzu zong se de le duden chane chura zambata ga ju songbi nga yang nyel pa zambata ga tang ane zambata ga dudu ga ne duge nyedong shibjere khare jig zambata yi zambata ne yang hu zu shugo mom zu yun de gan zambati ge zu de le nu ra ma song yang lu pa ma ja ga jo zhou res yang chora nye de zhou res song nga nye le nye de nga mom ro gu jik da je nye li ya yun de gan an ku long ga le has ne zu mi phe yong be tin de re phe yong jiang jia de ta ma ge la khe de min du me jo de be de kor be cha bo pho bo jab yong gu du ngang zu men da le khun zu me jo ma nga la khe mi du se si ge du de ngang zu u zu jian tan da ling sang ko mo de pa chim re.
So from Tsena, 10 to 12 of our soldiers left for Hunzi Fort, and so the soldiers had no tsampa in the 10 to 12 days that we had walked from Lhasa. So at Hunzizong, I was told to remove some grains and take it to make tsampa, and so I took about 2,400 kales of grain. And before the tsampa, before I could, finish making the tsampa, I was told that I had to go to Yarlung to fight. And when I went there, I could see, hordes of people from Lhasa coming in line and fleeing away, and there were shells falling like rain. And it seems as if there was no hope that we could, stand up against the might of Chinese, but still we continued.
Dele ne du thade nga zendi tu job che jor ba zendi de nga tu job go min do ane sangma bo shek jor mi so so de che ane zendi tu job go ya min do ane de nga de ngala ji khone re je ma ga ne khone re je de gi ton do re ji sung ge ne la ga len khone da am jo se ma se dene ane go konda dene ma che jene yong no ma che ma ja ya ge je ma ja ga do ma ga du de ga la me kan ga ya phe ong jen yo ma ja ga ro ba je mi do ta da de chom de ja se de la ane an ru cha dan de yo ba chu shi kan do khona je khona me ne ya ane gong gun na ne ya phe ri nya ma gong gun na ma phe che ne gun de phe ro kan yo ma re de je du kan ne khona ge ne nga pha nyel chin so le kira to pa yang lo ma ja ga jus ta be ma ja ga she na min do se je sung ge do an de che je re de chi du kan ane wo ta de che du ko ne mo mi de sha ma nga de ru be ni da de be ji or ba khona sum de chung du so ga pa nyel pa ja lo jo re ta ja lo jo do ga yang nga nya bo this khara ja ro na ko nya ma lang ga shira to ju yo re lamju go re se nga lang ga this pe ge chi ja ya nyen len chung du so re nyen len chung du so de ga an ru sa jin da ge ane sa je ma ja ya che shi so ja ane chu chu gan ro ma me de de ju che de ju gu so de ju dhap sa kha sen da kha de ju se sa jo sa gu jo ji nga yi ge ga ta nga ji gu chen chen ga yi ge ga to yi ge sul me de ne nga tho ga dong ma ga ja me phe dong chen chen mo do ba ja dong je mi do ane wo de ne che ne ane gang ga phe jim khor ra re mo do mi do ji yi du ga na ane shu gu shu ga ya then
So The alms that I had been in charge of till then was distributed among the people, and then the army leaders told me that they would, reward me, but of course nothing happened along the way. And then at Chumdoyang, I met Andruk Gombotashi, the leader of the Shushigandu, who had come there from Kongbo, and he said that we must go to Yarlung to fight, and he made plans saying that, he made plans on paper where each of the Chapchi, Kusum, and the monks had to go and fight, and then gave me the paper to deliver to the people. But when I went and showed the people the letter, everyone said, we are hungry and that we cannot fight no more. And then everyone started fleeing.
미상마 죄로와 되네.
로 되네 미상마 표두간라 안에 랑가 미도 천나 마자로서 천나 마자 미도 겸레 사샤. 천나 발랑가 도서 미도 표야 도서 미도 따데 미도간 가르쳐 우리다 베트가데네 망골라서니 저 망골라데레 때때 강 고래견 랑가 윤타랴 미도 안에 데 조락하다 생데 럼버체지도 럼버체게 야다네 야가 랑가 샤제 미디게 랑가 타야 도타데 안에 망고나 레브리 자가사도.
So now the Chinese were everywhere and even in Chana, and then there was a very snowy mountain pass called Mangola, and it was impossible to go in the snow. And Rinpoche called Jorakada, he sent yaks on to walk over the snow, and then later the people could walk, and then we reached India.
So
now we have reached India. So do you want me to continue my story?
I would like to go back and understand a few things.
단다 송사교 지어와 단다 송사교 지어와 디나리아 데스티와 그야 유사.
How many days did the journey take from Lhasa to when you departed from His Holiness?
다 하산의 폐비용으로 와라. 하산의 폐니 다 강구름부치 가서 야가라 면라 파페 에나마저 파 치로 갸브와. 디파도 니마 같이 거려를 하산에.
니마 남고 주제 전에 니마 죽지 중에 살에 레선에 예봐도 다 다른 데를 니마 딱딱딱 쉬어하면서 삼대 야대대고 쉬는 잡으라 봐. 니마를 쉬자 근데 제가 딱딱 쉬토고 민도 자외 전에 인제로 니마 정화진데 살에 라고
니마 정화스 거려를.
라고 So
the journey from Lhasa to Tsona, usually it may take about 11 to 12 days. But His Holiness stopped a few days along the way, so it might have taken about 15 days. And in those days, there were no vehicles, but we rode horses and mules.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us what were your feelings on this journey as a man who was trying to help His Holiness escape from danger? What kind of feelings did you have as a man?
December that Jamie Jende Lene Pe Karasagratati Komale Shokolene, Zimia, that Cheshire Jinde Yang Gamda, Devre Mongaranzo, Tot Sayas Yoma, the Togoto gave me do, Galeka gave me do, Gamda correct, Nantinere.
So I was very worried that the Chinese would pursue and catch up with us. And even though there was no food, I did not feel hungry, did not feel tired.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. How many days do you think the traveling soldiers went without food?
다 마음이 저 용두가 다 트스나 다 용되기 열와 랑가네 니마 가즈지 칼라 맹엔 하요나
자원에 맵 말에 안가는 야 담바데도 돌버지 토마르데도 강거 열바 제 맵 말에 시 니마 전에다 니마 숨데 니드 담바 맵 데데 중래 안에 가셔서 뭔가 지내 땡에서 민도 내가 제일 미망고 싶지 용어로 봐
Actually, we were never without any food, but there were 2 to 3 days when we had no tsampa, and or some had tsampa.
토마토들 간두 간나 추메데 간에 도스도 안에 잠을 미밤 하진세
So you had a little tsampa in
만도
your
또리
pockets,
시야 셈데미도
and you took a spoonful or 2 of tsampa. And it was difficult if you didn't have water to drink, but otherwise there was something to eat. And at times when you went begging, people were very scared to see so many people coming to beg, and then they wouldn't give us.
How many soldiers would you say altogether accompanied His Holiness? How many were soldiers and how many were from the Chushi Gandruk?
망미 가즈스요나 켄돔네 아니 추시 건조기 미 가즈스요나
군장도 집쇼래
집쇼라
집쇼라 제대니 장거태 요마 응도니 이제 조주저로 혼자 텐데르도 다시는 미 지금 갸니게르 파로 소조 칭거르 지금 야소 민급주 조정의 예배서를 텐데도 제대니 장거자 요마 가셔니지 가셔 쇼치므로 봐 하고 해서 요마래
So there were 260 soldiers and an equal number of Chushigangdu men who were on horseback, and you couldn't, take a proper count because some of the people were walking, riding ahead, and some were at the back.
Can you, for people who don't understand the conditions or the terrain of Tibet, can you describe what the actual journey was like? Was the snow very deep? Did you have to get off the horses? How did you get up and down those mountains?
미카시기 베베 룽베 사자칸데 예메 하고 말와라.
No.
하마고도 간에 디캅레야 넘버 수다 치비페 윤도 간에 직 릴레야 자두 따가레 마 밥고야 된데다 직 강띵 사포시우 된데다 된데 투유나.
딱 근데스
따야 드마돈 따가네 마 밥니 콤바기야 고야 된데다 야 참참 따쇼니 페야 잡보다 근데 사자 담멘다다 야야 자야 마마 밥이야 근데 칸데 유나
근데 따야 보비야다 근데 거나 강에 시라시라 요마도 배고라다 몇참마 따셔야 냠유시라 요르바 다 카쇼데 강지라네 아니 고도게 딸이야 지금 루단 지금 망고 때 딸이 망고 시체 아니 잘라 망고 강지 유산 비교 망고 총선 말하다 제직 제요 제직에 켜내고라 누구지에 따마죠.
So there was no
딱 하면서 잘라 망고 요를 강지.
So there was no difficulty with the horses and horse riding because people in Tibet are very adept at it. However, the difficult part was, traversing through the snow, and then, there were many mules and horses and that died, and you had to leave all your belongings behind. Fortunately, I had a good mule.
Did you have a horse and a mule to carry your goods?
로살라라 따직다 제직니 요바요나
따디 민망신다래 나라 제직이라 지래 어두 또단 토르타를 가지고 슈래 버봐 나 몸이 이기지가 땅으로 봐 나랑 로고제면 가지고 제지 제고 공개는 거 도슬레스 안에 메게 신하길 교차도 관라 신의 공도 가다전 다처럼 세유기를 섬스 공동아 짜야 나는 요들 지도
The horse that I was leading belonged to another. The mule was my very own. So after I was sent to deliver the message, I missed, all my companions, and only later I was able to join up with them, and they were very happy to see me, and even, threw me up in the air in joy because they thought I had been killed.
아니 제가 서송 당고디 레두가야 아니 메창마 코란즈 미직 잡아 개교다지 망고도가 먼저 dobsan ta me ti ruruchadegan ane saya thoya khake me nye ta de nya ga de nga to de do nge dobsan me ni shu chas ngado de do nye ga de ge ton de go sang de sa ja de jala de chang gong de ne ya ri de ya che chen to long shus des no je ngado saya ri che ken chen mo do kompa jab to gu ma re ane pangana besha de yune nge shus zong do ne sen tang yin be Quando mal salo lo yundu gane metegeli ya zamba nagu chuda ji kemindo ka jiksa ya kemindo te nya punzo ga ju tang chinzu peseg mare mitomna dige chine ka ke sa ya me de peseg mare silabin be shinda gan ke semdo jige ngala ya nga jogu mingri ta ga chigre jogu chora ka de bishibto sani chora ju sa ontigre sinye sani nye chingo lawi 아니가 디나된 거를 로고 가라지 참바생 저 nga지 동물에 수구 첨부지 코가 로치 아치바 모사 안 코틴치 산예대 지나도 계속 로살랑가 가베 다가라치 예슬라비 계속 콘도 가 로스 치인벤 딱다된 데데서 투신공샤요 봐 디버르다도 거네 몸바가 다도스틴 데샤 다딘 데자 콘도 그 시에네 This my lawyer, Kessa. I launch a Yemberger, Virginia, Jagachagan, and magic music shot as lovey. A magic more ledge, Lidugan, Yakunto, Carla, Tajak kiss. Karajaganto, take Jagasas, Mummy Nistambados, take on to prevent Mummy Nistamba, Deus and Songo, Sayaje, Mindu, Transo, there's the Yarochi. And Juma, Namdunane, poor young use Yachibet, Jackson, and the Rose says, Quaya teacher, Magan Chunju, Chigme, Kiloja, Mizangan, Russo, de Jachan, and on the Sachu, and I mean, the child did the Totia to Tinde, de Jigsayar, Zambar of Sayar, de Church.
So we arrived at the first Indian sentry post, but did not have anything to eat. However, all us colleagues could assemble there together. We were 20 men, and I instructed all these men that I would look after the belongings that we had, and that they were to go up in the mountains and seek food, anything that they could get for us to eat. And I told them that if we didn't get any food, we would not be in a position to carry on. And even if some of us who had little money, you use the money to buy whatever you can get. And towards night time, all of them returned, but they had absolutely nothing to eat with them. And so I scolded them that you were so many people in number, at least you could have got something for us to eat. And there was one person who was really angry, and he said, okay, tomorrow you can go and look for food. And the next morning, I took my best friend, whose name is Champa, and so I went to the place where they had gone yesterday, and then I saw that they had run away because I could see the tribal people of Mönpa, ready with these spears, not spears,
arrows.
Arrows, yes, with arrows. And so I called out to one of them in a word or two of the Mönpa language and asked someone to come. And I explained that there were 20 Indian sentries posted there, and now we were 20 Tibetan sentries being posted there, and that we did not have anything to eat, and I requested them to lend us something to eat, and that I would reimburse it when our plane came and dropped us food, which was a lie, but I had to say that.
Yeah.
And then they collected a few corn and some brewed beer and tsampa.
Mm-hmm. Now, where was this? This was over the boundary into India. So, when His Holiness left, you went back. First, you went back to the fort and stayed there. Then you got a message from Andrug to go
and fight in Yarlung.
But the people refused.
People refused and everyone fled.
And everyone fled. And then you rejoined your troops then?
Troops, yes. We joined the troops and then crossed over the Mangola Pass.
Oh, the Mangola,
The Mangola Pass. And then we're in the region of Mun, which is tribal area.
In Mun, okay. And there were about 20 men with you. And then, so what happened next then?
Then nga shugurbe. Then nga male tante mage de ke ma yo che nya khonzo boshore she che duwa nga zu shin ke duwa sa saura sa che chak mage zhe bi che zhe mage chön zhe mi do an se che mi gang ge se che guangda mi gang ge chuo na chen an da san yin de le zhuo da xian mi do an che mi do do le le de le Xing zhu dier medan and young over and the saya today you to today session mama langa les langa letu gala lumbachi letu gala and water which lesu gana chik saya te yod nyesur je to gana yani shenara jigle yung to tayan the tori shi me yung kha che yung sambar jigli to sam yan water ji Royal Dicelia, dig to do chene, telesum, Tawanless. Tawan living Yangate Yang, Langalia, Gunduta, Tinde Tete, Tengi Dola, Zonge to Mute de Kiyun, and Tinde Chase Sagacha, Yan de Wanta Shiroches. Gundu de Sata Masa Sero, Togo, Kamel Lemenaja, Beguduan, and Tinde Chess, Mashis the Chungsumado. And Tawan Lenny Shina Sanyin and Namduna Resin Luchan and a chick Mogro the death in the Soyache and it Doras Resin poor China Cotinatun. I know on to Bentata ticket you have to links here, Jagashung Tus.
So when I came back with the corn and other things, I boasted to the men there, and then I said, let's eat. And then we boiled the corn, but it could not be cooked. And so what we did was, we found some flat stones and then made a fire underneath, and then we fried the corn and ate so much that we fell sick that night. And then we continued our journey and reached a village. And at times, during the journey, I was scared that I would starve to death. And at times, I felt fine. And we reached Tawang. And just before we reached Tawang, on the way, we saw a lot of grapes, which people gave us, as well as sold us some. And then we ate so much that once again, we had bloated stomach, and I almost died. And then upon reaching Tawang, planes flew overhead and dropped food rations. And at this point, the Indian government authorities, they took away our guns and other weapons.
Where were the planes from?
Namdu nane kala yunge yorwa namdu khane ina.
Tade khane na Jagashung imber ngudrijmodo shibu kotsu yomare. 다 자가랑 건가 자가 임시하랍 차셔요래. 안타만래야 아니 올라오다 뒤에제 니모 주장시 되버래. 니모 주되는 된데 되버래. 된데 미식한가 지금 당일을 써네. 먼저 마음에 되게 되면 마음에 되게 되는 땅을 했어제. 안 tunju케스. 터네 안 리델 멤버이 이나마 랑가 티저 리데 파티 소 티저 도스 마마마키아저 유도건 룽가질 리도간에 초게 파 카멜레메 초도 초디 유엔 로고저 리코르베 딘데레 딘데간 야자도 달리간 카샤 도토요레 도스 카샤 양사니 시베 루기요레 아만도 초딜이야 아니 멤버 베샤텐 베샤토토 유테첸 랑가 소라체스 콘조 삼바서브레 삼바지 서서도간 아니 삼백간 파잘라게 삼백간도 초대도 류고 초숙 정보 시분레레 이제 파도 되고 가라 되고는 수고 연구실 잘라도 캐는 파 정보가 캐니께 시부처가 지고요. 지도가나 간자제를 삼바도 루루고 뭐 추캔 뭐 루루게 신지간에 다셔도 시제 양잘라게 되는 체를 항상 이 결과대 몸에 수우는 거죠. 코멘다 개박해 돼요. 저다 혹사 직대에 코출게 템사스 메다다 저기 뭐다 되고는 메대 강게 고디 똑 통스모도 현 통용뱀 치스 되네 안에가 존용도 시나다 기도 봐서 쇼 잘하게 돼. 되게 강에 총수 다 되도간에 되는 가서리 미 몸배 로션 랑가 서브데 랑가 야고 서브 매임도 랑가 서브 되는 신기 따샤교 신리 신다 놈에 따져래 야고 요면 동안 어떻게 제네도 총수.
So in Tawang we stayed about 10 days and there were many people there and they said that the soldiers would be sent first and so a Mönpa guide he took us over the mountain and then we reached a very strong and a river which had very strong currents and either you crossed over the water or you had to climb over a very high cliff. And
다들 shum어디 때 추브라 가서 맨데 디니엘레 칸다 맨지 머데니엘 당월 멜레건레.
So this is just before we had surrendered our guns to the Indians and we had to cross over this river but it didn't have a bridge and one had to walk up the very steep cliff and I heard that some who were able to climbed up and at least one person fell down and then we requested and the people of Mönpa they made a wooden bridge across the river and at that time I was very healthy and I could carry things on my back and then walk across the bridge to the other side and help other people also but then at one point the water was rising above the bridge and still I was riding the horse and walking transporting things back and forth and then I saw a very tall soldier who was just behind me fall into the water with his gun and then he was washed away and then I got really scared and the Mönpas did help us by making the bridge but it was not steady because these were wood joined by creepers.
Wood joined by
tied by creepers.
Vines.
Vines. Yes.
어느 건지 잘라서는 간가 뒤뒤 맨배 에네 마치는 차외나라 메라 땅 용편 토고 매용 세제 그도 요가 제가 롱가 제가 배산에 때때도 되기면도 에네 잘라야 간가 매브체 도스마 용구 치주래.
So
에네 마 용구 체리 용네 에네 자가 산담레 텐티 푸드세도 뭐 푸디 델레도 가는 but tullo links bin sal denele langbatong si yung so tata kunjo nyawase delde mendo samsara ji tinde ge samthya chas ta kharap china sa tata na shiya ra kemidu tinde jile jaga ge momi trak ti yung to trak na ne chik khechi jam yal model lungre joro yami 어디야 단지 차와디야 배 예정으로 지 체전 도스야 아니 메사머를 되두가 요가 파 제서시샤 제가 아니 미 건강하게 좀제 요거나 된 디게 돼서 중다 돼서 강이들이 쇼그래 너는
so the things that we had with us, the Mönpas told us were not meant for the hot climate country and so they either begged or bought these things from us and then we continued our journey and reached a place called Phutan and there it was so hot that even if you removed your clothes and placed them on the ground there was heat everywhere and I thought whether I would die here from heat in this hell. And then an Indian army truck arrived and they took us in this and when the truck moved at least I felt better from the wind and then we came to Misamari where there were lots of bamboo huts constructed and we stayed there.
Misamari 차네 차와디나데 저도가네 지당 차와다 두자실레데 양아라 기브르 오중 가르쳐서나 냐마 다들 룬디 대베 라브다 대베 인지게 때때 신고르바 디 팬직 토고도 장가 자탄베 팬직 토고도 콘도 신다 각 개팬맵제 nga jagunse chura ene jagun se 사회나 인주 콘도가 농공 도스테 주래 nga 사회나 폴랭가 님은 사회질 15조대 nga란데 수어 탄다 임라도 그렇게 나의 마솔라 아니 nga 미간게 뽐버스 간게 파파티 추추 제조스를 제제 야 어디 기부르제 총.
So in Misamari, though the heat was very bad, I was happy because thanks to my radio operation days, I knew a little English, and then I could also count till 100, and that helped a lot because all other people did not know anything. So they made me a leader, and being a leader, I did have to go out in the in the heat to get food rations and stuff, and the people could just stay in and fan themselves. And I was happy as a translator.
I just want to.
So is it okay because I'm telling only part of my story?
That is the story we want. But I do have one question I wanted to check. When you had reached India and you said that the planes were dropping supplies, that was in India, but who was sending the planes and the goods?
Luyu dinde gogu dos.
La.
Luyu dinde gogu yore la.
Ale.
Tanda tiwa chik yus.
No.
Lopsala number so kyaga na liya tanamdu nang ne ma kala dinde tang ma yugu yor wala resen yugu yor wa. Di namdu di su tang bayina.
Ngadu jaga shurang ngadu chigor ha kugu yo mare namdu su yi kane yi ta jaga shurang yi sha chigor.
So we at that point did not know who it was, who the planes belonged to, but we believed it was the Indians.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of supplies did they drop?
Hoga konggala lakjate yor ba di chushu kan yor ba ngadu phebe mamje ta yo marba. O dedu kan la kharchi gore America ge mo namdo ngudi chigore. Tanta Russia yong de ji jaga shong de rese chigong ngudi chigore.
So in Lhoka, arms were dropped by planes to the Chushigandu soldiers, but those were dropped by the Americans, and the food rations were by the Indians. That's what we believed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And did the group know at this time whether His Holiness had made it to India and what the reception was like?
Number two, tanda mi kashe jinyamdo yorwa la di kabdo sandi yorwa. Number two, kita kamguru muji gyagala na jor yume da ani khande chungu yume dunzu kengi yuna.
Sometime hago to karesa mi kashe radio tunjune kedo wan. Radio na chatan kugudu. Ta radio music pay yuna ani kanga deru rucha nyaga dore konda.
So, yes, because a person had a small radio, and in the evening everybody gathered around him, and then we listened to the news.
And how did it make you feel when you heard that His Holiness had reached India?
And then Kyangurumbachi Gyagala Georgias Kodu Gane any Sendu Gane Kandida which is Hoa Chungi and Alosan Lalia. Kyangurumchi Gyagala Jordu Stangazuta radio ne Kogu Yorwala, radio ne Sengi or the Nazu Sama, and Dikala Toa Kandish Chunguna.
Shita Gato Checha and a Migan Betty. December gun beji shibuchi ore tadi shibu seba the kugumedo tak bonde niji ne peso masuri peso senge sorobo nishi te du masuri te kai ye kai ha kugu yo mare kababe ine kandare jaga pejen debna pebe the reward chungsarawa gazo shibuchi ore sangma.
So everybody was very happy, though the news wasn't very clear, but we could hear that he was in Mussoorie, though at that time we did not know where Mussoorie was, but we knew that it was in India and that he was safe in India.
And how many of the people that arrived with you at the very end were people that had started out with you originally from Lhasa. What was the number of people? And then how did you feel knowing that you had escorted His Holiness out of Tibet?
다 당부 하산에 폐용도 간에네 다 롭산라기 차려야 미카시 지요르와
No.
미 그룹 지요르와 디 단다 갸갈라 조르도 간에 가주 타르여 갸갈라 추
가르지 열었어요.
미 냠돌 미 용에 지요르와 망미
No.
다 하산에 차려 팽에 지요르와 디 갸갈룽베나라 가주 조르여레
니슈섬진데 바 칠로 겹샤 산담네 천하고 딘데 모두 시창모 조르 존에 안간도 메서브네 간도 남소당 디바도 연보요레 니슈섬지지 산담네 로샤 명나 레요 말에
아니 다 캠그르부시 갸갈이야 펩투르발라 and didu gane ta lobsan lage karides thugla gongswe ta susu gi ta pemasi gi chale yagunang thurwa yamgurum beji shipshul pen ta yagunang thurwa ni kora ani chowa khandedes chungena
samlena lo
lao
adadi didu shabu ge goske chu yom yagu chung yoda meda shabu go chu yom mare ta ji kasorda Jamila wada tende moshabu katori modo shibu gotu me shibu drubu yoda me da shibu hagu yo mare.
So from the group that we started together from Lhasa, about 20 to 30 they returned from the border and did not continue into Mern. And the group that we successfully came into India, we worked together in the road construction at Gangtok. And about escorting His Holiness out, at that time we did not know how much what our service had been, but we were happy that we did not land in Chinese hands.
And how many people actually went with you to India? You said 20 to 30 returned to Tibet. How many continued with you into India?
Ta mi nishu sumjoji pha phele lorwa
No.
Gyaga na la khaju jor thu yore.
Jagana le yo mare sanjam ne lo.
La ta khaju sanjam ne lo chingrwa. Ta gyaga na le pyo de mi khaju le thu yore.
Jagana le yo de didu ngandu chipsho yo mele mahar chin yore. 가르치면서 수고 용어 먹고 중으로가 세다 해서 노블링가 마자겠네 벼타죠. 제도가는 건좀 배지 미 숨겨도 간도 남시버거나.
단다 당군 이가 죽조열 송임.
라고 내가 파르샤. 가르쳐도 건도 수고 벼 용어 가셔요 중으로 봐. 십시오 뭐임바. 디 말이 침시.
The figure had increased because later there were many who escaped from the Potala and Nubulinka, and when we were working in the road crew, there were 300 of us.
Okay. So, when you look back on that time when you were helping His Holiness escape, what do you think about it now? And when you look at it as part of your life experience, how do you feel about it now?
단다 롭산라기 땅예메 중요딜라 파 삼로 땅비 나르와
No.
다주 페비아지오라 겸걸 붙인 가서 집쇼라야 엔디 냠뇽 디콜라 카르레스 투글라 공고드웨
단달로
라오 단다 카르 투글라 공고드웨
이마 종사들이
라오
이마 종사들라 신다케면도 다 중국 경단되게 시라탑도 도산에 선배교도 간에서 되든하고요 말에 다자네 중국 체당 15교부 차이샤 당나시 밀리아 럽주 때에 민도 당나시 중대 야고 매비 인자 쇼레제 마증토야 매브텐데 톱교부 차이샤산 다 롬범 용도 때네 제가 레버점당이 군든 디기다 잡아칠랜디니 이나나는 매베 야고지 용도 산 sem가도 다가 용도
So when I look back, I feel very sad that our government, did not give education, and it did not do it did not function well, and which is why we were not in a position to fight the Chinese. However, having reached India, I'm very happy that His Holiness has been able to do so much, and it's almost like a dream.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we conclude our interview about your adventure and journey from Tibet? Is there anything that you wanted to add?
Losala Pene Pebene Chenedi Parade Tanda Lugu Shemba Sunyal Hade Yona.
Pene to Yoya
Lugu Shembal Hade.
Tanding Yeshu Genjashur Pena, Lugu Shevi in the din, then you would have the wrong yeah, my Shajo de Mama, Donuji, or Malabra de Rabanya Kasishuimba, Madonu Yomare, Yenanga Congo, Jamdapatolia, Lundi Yabjaja Jiktonyo. Timotoshi Leo Mare Antanashi, the music on the path of Jutunga, Koboto was singer of Tindechim Mato, Minama Jasata, Chipshola, so don't continue Navita to Yabonga Leo Mare. Malundi Labate or what did you? And then the motor Lawatangra.
So, because I was being trained as a radio operator and was also in school, so I've never had the opportunity to go towards the east of Tibet. I have only traveled up till Kongpo Gyamda.
Would you like to see more of Tibet if you could return?
Ta pena la pa pep tu gi yonarwa pyogi saja shemba den de sinyi thosarwe.
Tajikadolo. Tata Pela Duni Dosamare. Karesana Yamiti Chitane Doni Tindeji and Amjo Kawanyene, Doba Turmoto, Yaron Jetangmedo Radio, the Kawanyene, Chetantata, Duni Dosokoramari, Kayans and Pamabija to Gangashi Sadeta, Tayan Deo Mare, Gombata Chichen to Ganganyam Sare, Lumbani Gangam, Delta Gangatenchene, Pangusa Sareta, Duni Dosomare, Kongo Control Ran Lotte, Consul Paul Savina. Ani jucham chagu yor madoshi nyoya yomar doni dosamare.
Now I have no wish to go back to Tibet because of what the Chinese are doing there. Whatever we hear are things about what bad things they are doing there, and now to go back, I have no parents, my relatives are no more. They destroyed the monasteries, and they also mined all the mineral resources of Tibet, and if only you worked for the Chinese, then you would become rich. So I have no wish to go back.
What do you hope will be the future of Tibet?
Ta maung bagi pyola ta rewa kharidasi yona.
Maung bal pyo de rewa di ta tanda kundu ume lam sungu yorba ume lam de la kundu mhabe rambe ta nezu cha de yor kharesana thoma rane jagai shungi neru ane pyo jami chashere chejen love yinza thongbe love yinza an lungbu changme love yinza ngazo roku raya yo marela 아니 오늘 남게 짜베 십스러운 것도 제 주요 말때다 콩게다 대셔디나데 녀만데 인지 지금 먹고서 이제 사산이 첩지 제산 쉬부지 땡서보다 전도 라야 텐데 라와토디 칸선이 제무코란 통래 콩콘도 만들 나가나 주네 대셔기요레 오늘에서는 콘도 가서 개고르래 아니 안데 총이나네 아니 롱이도 책이 지레마도 신 단대 차라네 그 제단데 도르모도 yar지 네 요야 요 말다 롱이도서 말에 재밀라네 감다 사야 장장모도 요 말에 토마 별 용도네 라고 요렇게 근데 전쟁 아메리카스기 요래 코라시 부진도 더 셰거래 미든데 생이 미자랑 것도 돈네 기부 영어로 열산 러커기 민도
So the hope that I have for future hope I have for Tibet is that His Holiness has now been forced to adapt the middle way approach, and the middle way approach is something beneficial even for the Chinese. When we first came here, our neighbor India, whose prime minister was Nehru at that time, claimed that Tibet was part of China. So because he said that, the whole recognized Tibet as part of China. And that's why His Holiness is forced to adopt the middle way approach. And some time back, an English couple came and explained in depth about the middle way approach. And I think, this is something that should make the Chinese too happy. And in case they accept this, then I may wish to go back, but not at this point.
What is, in your own words, what is your understanding of the middle way approach?
Ume lam siya jorwa. Ume lam siya jorwa. Ume lam siya di ta khande da wajre kongdues.
Ume lam di ting na wajra ting de chugu mindu ina ngare samdur bichane cheta ume lam maso ranso ra tene onto ya jabjo me de re samsan di thingdu. Ane jawe ume lam tene 다 여마 대세지 고베들 때는 시부지 좀 나고 그래서 가래서는 유럽 나리아 중동화 당고도 오면람디 근데 그 녹교 시제는 대세 시부지 잡서 제den이든 예토하면도 오면람디 뺀메식 다 가서 그렇다 쉬어지게 강가되나 차대게 대세 접용게 먼저 대체 죽면도 제den이 딱딱.
So though I have heard about the middle way approach being explained in depth, I'm not able to recount everything now. But however, it encompasses everything.
우메람데 에네 랑제 장머레 저거세 코즈 디셰고르바 안딘데 아이나 삼버르지 고야우타타 추구민도 이네다 상매게 신예조 관계 야고레션 송괴 열랑 나라도 도대되는 어떤데 통도 가이스나 다 오늘람 무슨나 어저 잠예 요 말바 딘데 소리지 천하용도.
So the Chinese say that adopting the middle way approach is seeking independence for Tibet, but I don't think that is right, because many experts say the middle way approach is the best way because we do not have any other support.
Okay. What do you wish that the children who have left Tibet with their families, what do you hope that they preserve about Tibet? Whether they're in Tibet or whether they've had to leave as refugees, what do you hope will be preserved for the next generation?
단대 건주지.
loksalagi shenge dunjugi kari chiyal rewa chimbuduwe pyoge tendalaya nyara chibo yadi
tadi nge tada ha 고급에도 가르 근데 레와 가르쳐고요 하서 그 고급면도 자외 세야라미 랑자 시기어봐 뭐도 시 텐다다다 하고 고급면도 삼 가르려고였나 시 랑자전에 언도 잠예 요마 펜도 요마래 삼 디상도.
So I don't know what the younger generation actually want, because nowadays many of them seek independence, but I think if we keep seeking independence, we do not have support for that.
Okay. Now that you've finished sharing your story with us, what was it like for you to tell us what happened and your memories and your experiences of your time in Tibet? To recount this, what was that like for you to do this right now?
Lopsalagi thari nganzu leya ta susugi tenso diche nyamnyong lugyu chasang sung yorwa.
La.
Thari nganzu leya tenso da nyamnyong lugyu chasang sung yorwa. Ndi khande da wuchi chung sung skongduwe.
Marasamna lo. ate thobe sugye chini re sanzari ngara range logju soji moda shirashia shuyan ke yomare pendo yungye mi hagong mindos.
So I have had nothing much to say except my experiences, and I don't know if it will be beneficial for you or not.
Your experiences have not only been beneficial for us here today, but will be beneficial for Tibetans all over the world who were not on that journey, helping the Dalai Lama escape. And you took us on that journey, and you've made history come alive for us, and the history will not be forgotten.
nganzu la pendo chepo mares tharin lugyu sungya dirwa pi pheba changma la pen thoya gi ni lugyu ju sung skaisna ani sa phene chenen yaga lungba la ma phe padola ani kyanggur meji chipshu chene pherwa la on di chezani pe masi pendo re khaisna nganzu changma dik thuzu dila yo marwa dik kap la nyamdo yo marwa di situ kane dunzu gyarap chane ni pendo pe masi chimbu res
no tadi karesana shundu chenputa de pendo de yago yonya da de ye gonshin na re yago shira re ine ngara di chopsi gan ya legishra chemodu che phe shungu yogo khoro gun mor ne de yula chobeta tinde jangjang phazu yude bi gengi ngale sheta shita yo mar chatan ne da yago gan ya samushira khothu mindu kontas.
So though I wish to relate my story today, so far, in my life, I've not been politically active or aware because most of my life I spent by serving the society by driving as a driver. So my knowledge is not that much.
I see. Well, do we need to read this? Just because you gave such an important historical account, I want to make sure that we check one more time. If this interview was shown in Tibet or China, would this be a problem for you?
Tiwadi yore ene di lugyu sungba di nganzu pyo da gyana de wal tembe yena en lobsan la kange ke yo marwa.
That's right, no problem.
No problem, okay. So we are honored to record your story and appreciate your participation in this project.
An tharinde lugyu sunga pheba dila ani kadin che.
No.
Thank you.
Tuche nas.